Doorstep in disfavor. Coach Landry unhappy. Gift.
1st and 10 Steelers, 17-yard line. 3 big back offense. And Rocky Blyer met at the line of scrimmage. That's about all. He might have lost half a yard as Pittsburgh comes out with Rocky Blyer, Franco Harris, Sidney Thornton, the wide receiver. Lynn Swan is not in there. We'll see him, of course. Randy Grossman is the tight end, replacing an injured Vinny Cunningham, who was up to a great year until hurt 2 weeks ago against Atlanta. John Stallworth. He's meant a lot to Terry Bradshaw. Number 82 really came into his own last year and is scintillating once again this year. All right, they mark it at the 18, so it'll be 2nd down along 8. Quick toss, and it goes to Franco Harris. Harris, the big man with the great agility, gets close to the 25-yard line. Pickup of 6. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
Franco Harris loves to play on Monday night. We'll take another look at the agility that Frank just mentioned. For a big man, nobody turns the corner better. And look at that, right there. Harris, in 8 Monday night games, has gained over 800 yards. In 5 of them, more than 100 yards.
And 1975, remember Howard against Houston, he went for 149 yards. He loves the pressure, loves the big games. Franco Harris, 3rd down and 2. Bradshaw on it, 3rd and 2. Wide open with number 82, Stallworth. And he was open from the time he left the line of scrimmage. He has the 1st down at the 38. Kurt Mock made the stop, but there was a mix-up in the defense, and we'll take a look at that defense. They're tough, and they come at you from all angles. Sometimes they'll make the mistakes. The man in the middle, you know, from years of play. Curly Colt, Jim Young is at one end, Alvin Bethea the other end. They're your linebackers. Probably no better linebacker, at least in terms of hitting, than Robert Brazil. The defensive secondary. The Steelers with a 1st down and 10. The ball at their 38-yard line. Lynn Swan back in the game. He wears number 88, of course. Bradshaw, inside handoff. Franco Harris. And Franco Harris goes down, but not until he rolls out for a 6-yard pickup to the 43-yard line. The man on the bottom, 65, Alvin Bethea.
Well, he had an inch-like opening, and that was all he needed, because after that, in the manner of Larry Zonka, when Zonka was in his prime, he forces the rest on his own.
This man in his 11th year, still all-pro caliber, Alvin Bethea. Franco Harris, the 7th leading rusher now in the history of the NFL. Swan goes to the right, Stallworth in motion, Bradshaw back, deep drop, a lot of protection, fires to Lynn Swan and overthrows. Lynn Swan was open for a brief moment, but Willie Alexander recovered and was all over him.
Well, the crowd is booing because Swan really got it after the play was over. Swanee has been through this before. Once he suffered such a serious concussion that it was thought he would quit the game prematurely based upon his age. Look, right there. And that's why the crowd was booing. But Swan, though smallish and lithe, is terribly durable. He'll fool you. And you have to double up on him, really, to cover him. And then if you double up on Stallworth, that leaves the tight end loose. Right, Frank?
Indeed. 3rd down 6. Rather, 3rd down 4. Clock is not working. We'll try and keep you abreast of the clock. But right now, it is not working. Stallworth is there and makes that beautiful diving catch at the 15-yard line. John Stallworth, and we told you he's having a great year. And he is doing that. He's providing Lynn Swan with single coverage for the 1st time in many years, because they have to be concerned with this man, number 82. Here he is. He just has great speed. He just flat outran Greg Stenrick.
Which is, as we have still another look at this play, which is exactly why Stallworth has become so vital to this team. Plays like that, they double up on him. Swanee, you can't cover one-on-one, and vice versa. A pair of sensational wide receivers.
And a graphic illustration of the kind of year that Bradshaw is having. A beautifully thrown book. Franco Harris runs into number 54. That's Greg Bingham.
Bingham isn't one of those famous linebackers, Giffer, but he's one of the most effective. He leads Houston in unassisted tackles, the linebackers. Led them a year ago. Although Brazil, as you noticed, is the publicized one and a great, also an all-pro.
From his inside position, Bingham stepped across the line of scrimmage, read the play, 1.5 yard loss. It'll be 2nd down. Call it a long 9, or rather long 11. Sidney Thornton back in again. He wears number 38. But Blyer gets the call. And Blyer runs into the arms of Willie Alexander, and down he goes, getting back to the original line of scrimmage and inside the 15 for a pickup of about 2. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Rocky Blyer, of course, a story that's been often repeated. Came up a 16th round draft pick years ago, 68. Didn't think he could make the team. Went to Vietnam, wounded, came back. Took him 6 years before he became a starter here at the Steelers. And he's been a steady performer, and Franco Harris will tell you that he's responsible with his blocking for many of the yards that he's gained. 3rd and 9. Firing into the end zone intended for Lynn Swan. Swan covered well by Willie Alexander and Kurt Knopf.
Under obvious pressure, you saw it. Bradshaw had to hurry his throw a little bit. There's Swanee. There was a safety blitz on that play. And now watch Lynn as he goes into the middle, post pattern. And it looked like it might have been caught, but not with all that pressure on Swanee. Not even Gifford could have caught that in his front.
Well, might have confused Bradshaw. You saw Stallworth was there, and I can tell you for sure they shouldn't have both been there. Roy Girella will attempt a 31-yard field goal. He's 6 of 12 of the year. And no good. Roy Girella not having the kind of year the Steeler fans expect. So the game remains scoreless. We'll tell you about the time as soon as we know.
Just being too easygoing. Doesn't scrimmage his team in the preseason. He says, why do that? Houston's not on our schedule. Let them get hurt against the other guys we play.
1st and 10, the Oilers. Girella missed from 31 yards out. The game is scoreless, 5:25. We're told remaining in the 1st quarter. This is Earl Campbell. And the big man piled up as he gets out close to the 24-yard line for a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. White was over there. Lambert was over there.
Look at that graphic. It was Lambert who made the initial hit, by the way. That tells the story of Earl Campbell. He's played in 6 games, 608 total yards. Pretty good for a rookie. There, watch 58. He fought off one block, pursued the play laterally, and was in on it to help stop.
2nd and 6, the ball at the 24-yard line. Rob Carpenter. Carpenter with some nifty footwork gets out of a bind at the line of scrimmage and moves out close to the 28-yard line. A couple of yards short of a 1st down. It'll be 3rd and 2 again. Lambert and Mike Wagner on the stop.
There's more versatility in this Houston backfield than one would have expected. It's not just Earl Campbell. Campbell was on the sidelines in a recent Houston victory over Cleveland. Carpenter came in at one point. Together with Ronnie Coleman, he provided spark and life and helped lead Houston to a 16-13 victory.
3rd and 2. The 3 tight ends are in, if you want to call Rich Castor a tight end. Hand off goes to number 26, Rob Carpenter, and it so often does on short yardage with everyone at the line of scrimmage. He found the opening, popped it for a 1st down at the 40-yard line, taken by Mike Wagner there. Let's look again because it is a play that happens very often. You get just a little crease, and the linebackers, of course, down at the line of scrimmage. No one to fill the hole. There you see the miss by Lambert. Wagner makes the save, and that could have been a bunter. 1st and 10, the Oilers, their own 40-yard line. Pastorini passing at just under 54% on the year, but his biggest credential, only 5 times has he been sacked, and 4 of those came in the 1st game. Campbell is down at the 43, and a flag is down. It looked like motion against Rob Carpenter.
Which, if Frank is accurate in that call, and I believe he is, will temporarily slow this Houston beginning drive. And they're doing it on the ground. And the Pittsburgh coaching staff, led by Chuck Noll, knows very well that if there's a way to play Pittsburgh representatively and hope to beat them, it's through the ground game. They've been so strong against the pass, but teams that can run, and the Jets, for instance, played them very representatively. It was 28-17 and closer than that score indicated.
Offense, illegal motion, number 26.
Took time out for the call from the official. The Jets did it all on the ground against Pittsburgh with backup quarterback Matt Robinson eschewing the pass.
The motion call, it was against Carpenter. His 1st and 15, the ball at the 35-yard line. Mike Barber, the tight end, split. He's at the top of your screen. And off Carpenter, and Carpenter tripped up right at the line of scrimmage. Lambert moving across, and we talked about Kenny Burrow as Pastorini finds himself in the passing situation. There's a man that has a great deal of respect for Ken Burrow, too. This man with a great record.
Well, Chuck Noll has to be respected, as does his owner, Art Rooney. He came here, took over a moribund situation. They built this team from within via the draft. The 71 draft provided a foundation of great stars. More would have come later. It's a fine coach.
2nd and 15. Steelers threaten the blitz and then pull out of it. Earl Campbell gets the call and moves out to the 41-yard line, back to the original line of scrimmage. At about a half a yard pickup, so it's going to be 3rd and long. And the point I was trying to make a moment ago was that Howard touched on it earlier. Ken Burrow has scored 25 touchdowns in his career, 9 years, and the average length of a touchdown catch has been over 50 yards. That's 00. He can really fly. 6'3", a 210-pounder. And right now, Pastorini puts him to the left with Billy Watchus Johnson in the slot. And out to the right is Mike Renfro. Single setback. Another good receiver, Ronnie Coleman. 3rd and 9. White shoes in motion. Wide open. Number 47, Ronnie Coleman. So the special offensive set on the part of the Oilers pays off as the Oilers move for a first down at the 36-yard line of the Steelers. No score in the game.
Well, Ronnie Coleman's a kid you've got to respect. Alabama A&M, quarterback. In fact, John Stallworth's quarterback at college. He came in as a free agent. Nobody gave him a chance. But he got action immediately, and he produced immediately. This is a good running back. Had to take a back seat to Campbell, but when Campbell was out, absolutely scintillated.
1st and 10, the Oilers. Their deepest penetration. Carpenter in motion, Campbell the handoff. Big hole and hurdles over the line of scrimmage, and a flag goes down as Campbell is taken at the 31-yard line, hit there by Lauren Taves. And number 59, Jack Ham. There was a gain of 5, but it's going to be against the Oilers. Coming in, Earl Campbell, averaging a little over 101 yards per game. Here's our call.
Offensive holding, number 73. First down.
Greg Sampson, the left tackle, number 73, holding for Houston, and it moves the ball back to the 47-yard line. They're still adjusting the scoreboard clock. We're inside 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. No score. Girella missed the 31-yard attempt. The Oilers now with a holding call in trouble. They have first down and 21. Rob Carpenter, single setback. The motion man, 00, Ken Burrow. Pastorini, screen, Carpenter. And Carpenter taken by Jack Ham, but he's close to a first down at the 26-yard line.
He may have it, Giff, and we told you about Carpenter. He is no third-rate substitute. He can fire up a team. Look at this again. Perfectly executed screen, Frank. Looking right, throwing left, and with blockers in front of him, he left his blocking group and cut back and made it work.
It is a first down. The 26-yard line of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Campbell comes back in on the first down in their setback with Rob Carpenter. Carpenter, left side, and hit there by number 76, Banaszak, and number 58, Jack Lambert. Gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Well, Pittsburgh, as a matter of record, you look at that graphic, top rookie rusher in the National Football League last season, 652 yards. That should tell you something of the young man's ability. While Pittsburgh has been most successful on Monday nights, winning 7 and losing 3, Houston has in the past been notoriously unsuccessful. I hope tonight will change the past trend.
2nd and 8. Ball marked inside the 25-yard line. We're approaching the end of the first quarter. Campbell makes to the right, cuts back, tries to put the ball forward. They will mark it just outside the 20-yard line, short of the first down by about 3-4 yards. It'll be 3rd and that.
You saw an interesting reflex there. He had a little bit of cuteness and cunning on that, trying to move the ball forward, and then the sudden panic. Will I lose it? Will they call it a fumble? So quickly he brought it back.
Great young man, not only a gifted football player. As the gun announces the end of the first quarter, a scoreless first quarter, so the Steelers' scoreless record for first quarters remains intact. We'll be back at Three River Stadium, Pittsburgh, after this. The undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers have only lost 2 games since Three Rivers Stadium opened in 1970 to Central Division opponents, both of them to the Houston Oilers in 70 and 74. They're playing the Oilers tonight. It's scoreless as we begin the second quarter. It's 3rd and 5. The Oilers have the football, 20-yard line of the Steelers. Campbell, single setback, number 34, gets the call, a fake, that is, and around comes number 88, Rich Castor. Castor gets to the 9-yard line, first down, good play action on the part of Campbell. Pastorini tucked it away, gave it to the big man, acquired from the Jets, as you probably know, earlier in the year, a 3-time Pro Bowler for the Jets, and still a lot of football player left in this man.
Look at it again. Castor used to run this play for the Jets on occasion. The thing about Castor is he has an antelope-like stride. He covers more ground, being a very tall man, 6'5" and a half, with one stride than faster men can cover in 1.5.
First and goal. The quick toss. Rob Carpenter, a pursuing defense headed by Joe Green, who misses, but he's up into by number 29. And that's the rookie from Eastern Michigan, Ron Johnson, but not until he rolls down to the 8-yard line where it remained second and goal. Here's the young man. He's short. He's 5'10", but he has a lot of qualities about him. One being that he has good speed and he likes to hit. He's a good, hard football player, very physical football player. And if you follow the Steelers, you know that's what they like. Second and goal. Carpenter feeding Campbell. Campbell just booms ahead, and look at that. 227 pounds, and can he accelerate? He gets down close to the 2-yard line.
He's just a remarkable athlete to watch. He's more than just a running back. He's a great athlete. And he had 26 yards gained going into this play. So he's added notably to it.
Good block by 76 Morris Towns and Conway Heyman to make it happen. There it is again, and just acceleration and brute strength.
I'm glad you mentioned Mo Towns, second-year man from Missouri, number 78, 76.
On third down, Campbell, they're saying he got into the end zone. He broke the plane, touchdown Houston.
Wait a minute, yes.
Head linesman right on the goal line, and Earl Campbell remains on the ground. He was really hit as he put the head down, gave it everything he had, got into the end zone, broke that plane. That's all he had to do. Let's look at it again. Getting a block from number 60, Ed Fisher, and collides head-on with number 29, Ron Johnson, and Mike Wagner also there. Let's take a look at it again. It's just a run for a daylight play, moving to the outside, getting all zone blocking, and then turning it in. He's on his feet now.
Yep, just got the wind knocked out of him, Frank. And Frank, you've called 2 names, Mo Towns and Ed Fisher. And right there is the reason for the Houston performance thus far tonight. Not just the excellence of the backs, because they don't do it by themselves, but the way this Houston offensive line is coming along this year is a positive thing of joy to Bum Phillips and everybody connected with the Houston organization. As you look at Earl, you can see he's all right.
I think he probably was just stunned. We will not speculate, but he's off on his own feet, and that's always a good sign. He gets the touchdown. Out comes Tony Fritsch. Head-on collision with Ron Johnson, helmet on helmet. Campbell got into the end zone. Steelers on the scoreboard first, and Fritsch makes it 7-0 Houston over the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, look at that play again. There's Pastorini, the handoff to Campbell. Note the way he huddles that football, puts his head down, bangs in there. That's what resulted in the hurt, the football into his stomach or lower chest. In any event, Campbell's okay. Houston leads. We'll be back.
Steeler rookie Larry Anderson, who went 95 yards for a touchdown against the Browns last week, awaits the kick of Tony Fritsch. Fritsch hangs it high. Anderson drops the ball and picks it up at the 5 and sets sail. Trouble. Anderson got into trouble. ran into a host of Oilers, turned around, you saw it, and got out to the 32-yard line. Nifty return.
I'll tell you, that return was made possible by number 38, Sidney Thornton, who leveled the key block. Watch it again, Frank, and you'll see it. There was the fumble.
The main thing, Howard, he did not flip because he had a great opportunity to flip. He let it set up. You'll see it right here.
Exactly right. Now,
and that springs Anderson to the 32-yard line. First and 10 Steelers. Here comes Rocky Blyer. Franco Harris with a block out front, and Blyer pounds out to the 37-yard line, getting 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5.
The word on Campbell is that he had the wind knocked out of him. He'll be going back. Frank and I had both feared perhaps a mild concussion because when he went to the bench...
Well, let me tell you, they don't look in your eyes for the wind knocked out of you.
That's what we both observed when he was on the bench.
2nd and 5. Solid to split left, Lynn Swan to the right. The quick toss, Franco Harris. And Harris accelerates and explodes out to the 45-yard line. First down Steelers. Ted Washington made the stop for the Houston Oilers. So much to be said about this man and his career, and it's not all that long. He's now in his 7th year, 29 games, over 100 yards. Only 2 players in the history of pro football have better records than that. Jim Brown with 58, O.J. with 42, and Franco, of course, just keeps rolling along. He can run inside, he can run outside. Cindy Thornton, number 38, now comes in. Franco gets a breather. Thornton wears number 38. Blyer met right at the line of scrimmage. Actually, that was the 3 setback offense that Chuck Noll likes to go with. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. We'll tell you this telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited. Scoreboard clock indicates that we're inside 12 minutes remaining in the first half. The Oilers leading 7-0. The Steelers have the football, their own 45-yard line. 2nd and 10. Bradshaw's back. Fires over the middle, complete to the tight end. Randy Grossman, number 84. Grossman short of the first down. He had to get to the 45. He did not. Robert Brazil made the stop. You know, one of the reasons, Howard, for Terry Bradshaw getting off to a great start was the play of the man we mentioned earlier, Benny Cunningham, who is out of the lineup now. And he is having a super year until he was hurt a couple of weeks ago against Atlanta. He should be gone for another 4 or 5 weeks. And Randy Grossman back in there now doing the work. The other tight end, of course, a good play there, Larry Brown, who's been playing tackle, and he is hurt and can't play tonight. 3rd and short. Franco Harris gets the ball, the flags down. Harris has the first down and much more as he goes close to the 40-yard line, upended by Reinfeldt, and the flag is down at the line of scrimmage. And it'll be against the Oilers. What a piece of work. He came in 1975, got himself a quick 10-4 season. 76, they went back to 5-9. Last year, 8-6.
Offside. First down.
He was not exactly inscrutable on the sidelines there.
Oh, he's a lot of fun. He really is. He has some great sayings. Been around football all his life. Coached in a whole bunch of places. Texas, El Paso, SMU, Texas A&M, San Diego. First down and 10. Franco Harris, quick toss. Cuts back as he does so well, drops the football. And hustling over there, I believe, is Sam Davis.
What a job Sam Davis has done. A veteran of 34, he surpassed Chuck Noll's expectations. He's part of what I meant when I talked about the work of the offensive line of the Steelers at the very top of the telecast. Remember, they traded Jim Clack. In fact, they made 3 big trades, the Steelers, and they were all bombs. Hey, this is a team that relies on the draft. When they turn to the trade, they make problems for themselves.
A gain of 2. Franco Harris and Davis is 2nd down and 8. Bradshaw finds Grossman wide open over the middle. And Bradshaw comes right back with the play that's worked for him. Mike Reinfeldt made the stop as he did before, but they're laying off Randy Grossman. He's not considered an outstanding receiver, and Bradshaw senses it, picks it up, and goes right to him.
And any time now, they'll pay more attention to the tight end, and Terry might be throwing to Mr. Swan.
Sidney Thornton, Rocky Blyer, Franco Harris. Swan comes out of the game in this particular set. John Stallworth split to the left. Thornton, you see the bottom of your screen, in a wing position on 1st and 10. Handoff goes to Rocky Blyer, and Blyer upended. Hit there by number 19, Willie Alexander, but not before he picks up a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Frank has told you what we all know about Rocky, about the war career, about the 6 years of fighting to be recognized on this team. There's more to him than that. He'll fool you as a runner. He's had a number of 100-yard gains. And as a human being, his work for multiple sclerosis has been just exceptional.
And of course, we'll be having our big dinner tomorrow night in New York City. On 2nd down and 8. Swan's wide open. Touchdown.
So that was inevitable. We called it 2 plays ago. He was out for 1 play, back in, and that superb combination that we picturized at the very opening of the telecast. Still another touchdown.
Willie Alexander trying to offer the coverage, but again, when Lynn Swan is running a pass pattern down around the goal line, one thing Terry Bradshaw knows is the Swan's going to go for it with everything he's got. Great little competitor, gets the 6 points. Roy Girello will attempt to tie it up. And we have a 7-7 ball game. Let's take a look at Lynn Swan. I'll give you an idea of what he was doing. He's working against Willie Alexander, number 19. Alexander helped from the safety, but he puts that drive to the inside. Alexander went all the way with it, looked up, saw Bradshaw rolling out, left Swan, 6 points to Steelers, and we'll be right back. And who would have thought, with the exception of alumnus Chris Shackle, that Purdue at this point of the season will be leading the Big Ten. College football coming your way on Saturday.
He had me sold. That's the Steelers scoring drive. 2 tough teams. Notice how poisedly Pittsburgh came back from the Houston touchdown.
Billy Johnson is deep for Houston. Dorella hits it. It'll be Billy Johnson from his 14-yard line. A little one with all the moves that did not pay off this time, as Sidney Thornton, a great special teams player, would not be fooled. Johnson goes down at the 23-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10. And Sidney Thornton, number 38, Chuck Noll is on record as saying that he could be the best blocking running back in football if he wanted to be, and apparently Sidney does. What a great pair this is. Swan, his 6th touchdown of the season. His 36th reception. He's having a super year along with Bradshaw. 1st and 10, Houston. The game is tied up as we just joined us, 7 apiece. Earl Campbell back in the game, hit at the line of scrimmage. Stop there. Big number 76, Banaszak was there. Dwight White, number 78.
Well, they unloaded Ernie Holmes. Banaszak has temporarily beaten out Steve Furness, though there's some controversy about that because Furness is probably the better pass rusher. But Banaszak has proved himself over the last 3 years. And by the way, our congratulations to him and his bride. His bride had a new baby a week ago today.
They give Campbell about a half a yard. 2nd down. Long 9. This is Wilson. Tim Wilson. And this is what the Steeler fans like. Just a complete collapsing defense. 75, Joe Green. 78, White. Banaszak, as Howard mentioned, trying to maintain a job that he really took over when Furness was hurt, warming up for the very first game of the season.
You saw the sign we referred to earlier, the steel curtain. They're the ones who really fire up this Pittsburgh crowd. More even than Bradshaw and Swan and Franco and Rocky and Stallworth.
3rd and 8 as Pastorini looks over an awesome sight. Meaning, of course, Green, Banaszak, Greenwood, and Dwight White. And we're going to change the football. Sometimes ball carriers and receivers will get a little sticky substance on it. The center doesn't like it. And we change the ball. 3rd and 8. Strong arms. It does Pastorini to Mike Barber, and Barber drops the football. And the Steeler has the ball. Donnie Shell. Jack Ham was all over Mike Barber. And what an opportunistic player he is. He will get that football out of there if he gets the opportunity.
That's true, but Houston is arguing that the ball was dead. However, the officials rule otherwise. And Donnie Shell, now look at Bob. He's talking to the officials right now, claiming the ball was dead. Of course, it's a judgment call, and we've had so many of those this year. Look at Bob.
Hassles and rhubarbs. The Steelers' offensive unit is on the field. Let's take a look at it again. Pastorini drills it out to Barber. Now you'll see him then go into the arms of Jack Ham. There he is, Ham all over him. And, well, I don't think he was dead.
I don't think so either. Barber was still fighting for yards.
The Steelers have a 1st and 10. They'll be at the 25-yard line of Houston. Bum is upset. We'll be right back. Let's take a look at that play a moment ago, and you saw Bum Phillips. He was upset, but had he been a little more convinced, I think, that this was an illegal play, he'd have been much more upset. Here's Mike Barber. Jack Ham. Here comes Wagner. Wagner just knocks the ball out, and Barber continued to struggle for yardage. No whistle had been blown. The Steelers have the football, 25-yard line of the order.
Key point is that Barber was still struggling for yardage, and we told you about the way Wagner's been playing this year. He's the one who knocked the ball loose for Shell to pick it off. Frank?
Thornton in, Swan out, 3 big man offense. Inside handoff, Sidney Thornton. And Thornton upended. Hit there by Robert Brazil. Gets about a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9.
That's Donnie Shell. Good to see you, buddy. He's a happy man. You know, Noel had to make room for him. That's why they got rid of Edwards.
You know, he's a lot like, he used to be nothing but special teams, like Benny Barnes, who we're going to see against Minnesota Thursday night at the Dallas Cowboys. They're just so good, both of them. Donnie Shell, you just saw, Benny Barnes of the Cowboys. They finally had to put him in there on a permanent basis. They earned it on special teams. 2nd and 9. Swan back in, but this is Franco Harris. Harris turns the corner, turns on a burst of speed, gets the first down as he rolls down inside the 13-yard line. Off took him out of bounds.
What a beautiful run by Franco. He was going to cut back inside the outside defender, but quickly he noticed that the way to go was outside, and that's one of the great things, one of the keys to Harris's excellence. Now watch this. Going to cut back. No, there was the block. He took advantage of it, and the quick acceleration, and a lot of yardage, good enough for a first down. What a play.
That was Ray Penny, who was filling in a right tackle for an injured Larry Brown, that made the block to sprung Franco. The ball is just about the 12-yard line. 1st and 10, Franco again. Follows number 55, the block of John Coleman, rolls out of bounds. This time he'll lose a yard. As Steve Kiner, the inside linebacker, moved over to force him out of bounds.
You know, Frank, in your call, you said that was Ray Penny who made the block, filling in for Larry Brown. And unless one is a close student of professional football, the name just falls by the wayside. But not to Chuck Noll and the whole personnel department of the Steelers. He was their top draft choice out of Washington 4 years ago. He's in his 4th year now, and he is a fine, fine player.
2nd down and 11. Bradshaw, both backs in, tries to go out to Stallworth, and under pressure has to dump it off. The Oilers taking a page from the Steelers' book. They come with the safety blitz. Mike Reinfeldt coming in, forcing Bradshaw to hurry the pass, incomplete. 3rd down and 11. T.O. Bell comes in. He wears number 83. Single setback, Franco Harris. So your receivers are Bell, Swan, and Stallworth. This one will be up in the air. Bell, top of your screen. Stallworth in the slot. Stallworth wide open. And he was concentrating on keeping his feet. in the end zone. He drops the football. It was a pass that should have been thrown much better than that because he was really wide open, and Terry's got to be upset with himself.
I can't believe I just saw a smile on Chuck Noll's face. Just crossed his lips. I don't know if you noticed it. There's the play again. There's John all by himself. Perfect throw. Oh, well.
He could have caught it, but he, again, was concentrating on making both of those feet stay in bounds. Incomplete. Zarella is on 30-yard attempt. Earlier, he missed from 31 yards out. He's 6 of 13 on the year.
Not that one. That's perfect.
Zarella puts the Steelers out in front for the first time tonight. A little over 5 minutes, we are told, remaining in the first half. That's the score. We'll be back. Pittsburgh takes a 10-7 lead over the Houston Oilers. The Steelers undefeated on the season. The Oilers with a 4-3 mark. They feel it should be better. This is a man who scares the life out of people on special teams. Billy White Shoes Johnson. He's returned a couple of kickoffs in his career, as you can see. He's returned 5 punts for touchdowns. 15th round draft pick. But this time it's going to be Johnny Dearden. And he moves out to the 23-yard line, taken there by Robin Cole.
Watching Pittsburgh in this game certainly is far from over. Watching Pittsburgh, you can see a team that feels so secure in its ability, so sure of itself. And there's the fulcrum for the team, the hot quarterback, Terry Bradshaw. It's as Swanee said, Frank. You know, I had a couple of years of being an also-ran, and that's not my bag.
Isn't a bag for anyone. Not in this game. 1st and 10. Pastorini, 5-5, 42 yards. They trail by 3. This is Earl Campbell. Campbell swarmed under Taves, number 51, who had some problems in the early going.
I wonder, Frank, how much Campbell's been affected by that hit he got when he scored the touchdown. We've already mentioned that we observed them with the light to his forehead when he went over to the bench, although it was reported to us that it was just a loss of wind. Goodness knows. Well, we're not medical diagnosticians.
No, but I've looked at a lot of flashlights on the bench. It doesn't affect you much. Or they wouldn't have him in there now. 2nd and 10. Pastorini, good block. And Pastorini attempting to go to Mike Renfro, incomplete. And this Mike Renfro, number 82, has been quite a story for this Oilers. You might recall, well, about 20 years ago, he had a father who played for the Cleveland Browns named Ray Renfro, now in the insurance and real estate business down in Fort Worth. And he has to be mighty proud of this youngster because he just tore up the Southwest Conference for 3 years at TCU, breaking all kinds of records, and he has become quite a little football player.
Interesting the way they got him. They were really lucky. They got him on the 4th round. Sometimes you can steal on the 4th round. Witness Miami getting Nat Moore, number 89 on the 4th round.
Pastorini looks over the defense, doesn't like it, changes off on 3rd and 10. But he was getting a blitz and he wanted to go deep. This is Ken Burrow. And you won't see Burrow drop that very often, but Pastorini, a heads-up call. He read the blitz. He knew Burrow would be man for man. Indeed, he was. And Burrow just couldn't hold on as Pastorini had to let the ball go. And a flag is down now. And it's going to be roughing the passer as we look. Again, the most difficult pass there is to catch. Right back over your shoulder.
But it was a great throw, and Burrow shows his speed. He's working against Mel Blount there, and you all know that Mel Blount has been a great defensive back throughout his career.
And while we were watching the artistry, the Pittsburgh Steelers were penalized for roughing the passer.
Defense, personal foul, roughing the passer, number 31. 1st down.
The blitz man, Donnie Shell, who's had 3 sacks already thus far this year. He was guilty, hitting late. In defense of Mel Blount, when you're in a blitz like that, they play that receiver very tight because they know the passer is not going to have time to release it. 1st and 10. The ball at the 38-yard line. Oilers down 10-7. Pastorini looks over and finds Tim Wilson, and Wilson collects the ball out to the 46-yard line, and he's collected by Jack Lambert, number 58, and Pastorini down again in the arms of Dwight White.
He really went down. Look at it again. Now Pastorini, watch Dwight White. You'll see him, 78 coming at him. And down went Pastorini. Pastorini's often been accused throughout his career as not having touch, and that's probably true. When touch, you mean knowing when to loft the ball, throw it softly, knowing when to rifle it. But he is much better at diversifying his receivers.
Wilson gets 8 on that reception. His second down and 2, the ball at the 46. Campbell, or rather Tim Wilson, gets the call. He's close to a first down. I believe he has it. Tim Wilson, the second-year man out of Maryland. He was a first-round draft pick last year. Had over 340 yards as a rookie. Mainly a blocker at Maryland. The Oilers organization thought this man can run the football as well, and they took him in the first round. The Oilers down by 3. The ball just short of midfield. 3:25, at least on the scoreboard clock, remaining in the first half. Astrini wanted to release it more quickly than he did, and he overthrows Ken Burrow. And I have a feeling that Burrow fussed him up a little bit there because he's upset. Flag is down. And it's going to be called against the Houston Oilers. Phillips with the chaw on his jaw, looking on. Never tell he's from Texas. Then drive. The referee marks it off, and now he'll give us the word.
Offense, pass interference number 34. First down.
Earl Campbell, who tried to slip through from his fullback spot, he's guilty of offensive pass interference. Down remains the same. It's 1st and 20. The ball is back close to the 40-yard line of the Oilers. Burrows split to the left. Rich Castro is in the lineup. He's in the slot. Castro over the middle. He's open, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and he's dropped immediately by Donnie Shell. Back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be second down. Well, he picks up 9, so it'll be second down and 11.
You've got to keep your eye on Richard Castro when he's in there, because he is a superb deep receiver when he holds on to the football. One of his problems with the Jets was dropped footballs.
He seems to catch the most difficult of passes and drops the ones that are right in his hands.
That was his history in New York.
Second and 11. Pastorini. And this could be a lateral. No, they are going to call that an incompleted pass, and it was close to a lateral, and Lambert is upset.
Well, Lambert was trying to run the football in, and of course you can't do that. It becomes a dead ball. Even if it's ruled a lateral, the ball is dead at the point of recovery.
Here it is. It's a screen to Campbell. Very close. The official out of the spot says no, incomplete. Third down and 11. Pastorini knows he's going to attract the crowd now. The Oilers bring in their offensive specialists on passing situations. That means Ronnie Coleman will be the setback. There he is, single setback. Billy Johnson comes in, number 84. Rich Castor's in, 88. And Ken Burrow, 00. Pastorini dumps it off to Burrow, under pressure, and Pastorini is nailed again as he releases the football.
It was badly executed from all points. Pastorini himself and Burrow, the intended receiver, didn't have first down distance. So as I said, badly executed, and Houston will have to give up the football.
The intended receiver, Billy White Shoes Johnson. Pastorini looked up, saw Mel Blount all over Johnson, ran out of the pocket, dumped it off. Fourth down. Cliff Parsley will punt. Deep is Randy Rudishin along with T.O. Bell. Rudishin 40, Bell is 83. Parsley hangs it high. It'll be T.O. Bell from his 14-yard line. And upended and sprawls forward to the 26. A good tackle by Art Stringer, or that could have been a long run by T.O. Bell. Time is out. We'll be back in Pittsburgh in a moment. The Dallas Cowboys, of course, tied with Washington in the National Conference's Eastern Division. We'll be there as they go against the Minnesota Vikings. And the little old man did it again. He just keeps fooling the folks. I speak of Fran Tarkenton. Big day yesterday. Upset over Green Bay. Francis, 3 touchdowns. We'll look forward to seeing him against the Cowboys. Flyer, bang, as he approaches the line of scrimmage. Number 65, Elvin Bethea, and number 52, Robert Brazil. I'll tell you, Robert Brazil will give you a pop.
Hey, well.
2-minute warning. That means we have another timeout as we look at Dan Pastoruni on the sidelines, and we'll be returning to Three Rivers Stadium in a moment. 3 timeouts remaining for both teams. 2 minutes remaining. The Steelers have the football. 2nd down and 11. The ball at their 25-yard line. Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell reporting from Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh is constructed like Dallas. Only 2 men on the team not obtained by way of the draft or free agency. Jack Mandich and Roy Jarrell are the 2. You remember, Jim Mandich. You remember Jim with the Miami Dolphins.
2nd and 11. Inside handoff. Franco Harris. And Harris pounds out much of it on his own to the 30-yard line. Pick up a board, and it'll be 3rd down and 6.
Jack Mandich. I had in mind Jack Manders. Do you remember Jack Manders, Frank?
Indeed I do.
You do?
Yes.
You're older than I thought.
I played against him. Franco Harris having another big night. He just seems to like to turn it on. As we pointed out earlier on, in 8 Monday night games with the Steelers, 5 times he's been over 100 yards. And, of course, he had that big 149-yarder in 75 against this very same team, the Houston Oilers. Franco Harris, single setback. Bradshaw goes right home to mother. A lot of time, and Swan does not hold on as he's popped by number Willie Alexander on, well, you could call it a get-even play because Willie has to be embarrassed about that touchdown that Swan got from him a moment ago. But, you know, he can jump like no one I've ever seen his size, Howard.
You see him on that obstacle course when you had him in the Superstars, and I had him in the Battle of Network Stars. We learned that about him quickly. Can't blame him for dropping that one, though. Not with Alexander all over him.
Good defensive play. Colquitt, the 3rd-round draft pick of the Steelers this year, will punt. Billy Johnson is deep, and this will have time to set up. No, good defensive play. It was Rocky Blyer hustling down there, and Steelers also getting help from Larry Anderson. Inside 2 minutes, 1 minute, 1 second remaining on the clock.
That's if we can trust that clock. I still don't really, although we've had assurances that it's working.
Well, it was official at the 2-minute warning, so we'll see. The Oilers, fairly good field position, ball at their own 37-yard line. They have 3 timeouts. They trail by 3 points, 10-7. Rob Carpenter, 26. Earl Campbell, 34, the setbacks. Mike Renfro, 82. Ken Burrow, 00, the wide receivers. Pastorini throws it away. Ham all over the intended receiver was Earl Campbell, and a flag goes down. You know, you watch Jack Ham, and you just marvel at his ability to read the plays. As we see, the Steelers will be assessed a penalty for a face mask, but just a remarkably gifted athlete. 23.
Same thing with Jack Lambert.
Defense, face mask, number 68. That's a 1st down.
I'll tell you, Frank, the Giants got a guy on the 4th round a couple of years ago, a middle linebacker named Harry Carson, who is destined for absolute greatness. He is as good an athlete, I think, as there is in the entire league.
He is one fine linebacker. They have another one there, too, Brad Van Pelt. The Giants have added a few more bricks. They're on their way back. On the 1st and 10, over the middle, complete to Rob Carpenter. Short of the 1st down as he moves out to the 49, and pick up of 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Jack Lambert made the stop. The preceding announcement was brought to you by Rocky Blyer and the National Football League as a public service. 2nd down and 3 for the Oilers. The ball at their own 49-yard line. The score, the Steelers 10, the Oilers 7. The Steelers now with 2 timeouts. Draw play. Ronnie Coleman Coleman has the first down, gets to the 45-yard line. And Houston immediately calls timeout once again. They're down to one timeout. At the risk of embarrassing my colleague, I'm not sure I can do that right now, but I want to tell you about something that happened to Howard recently. He has received the Poynter Fellowship in Journalism from Yale University. Now, maybe you don't know what that is. I didn't until I found out about it. But it is a very prestigious award offered by that university. It has gone in the past to Tom Wicker, Bob Woodard, Anthony Lewis. The coach is the first one in sports ever to receive that award. My congratulations, man.
Thank you very much.
That's high level. Indeed it is.
That's not going to make the mayor of Pittsburgh happy.
He is a little upset with you, Howard.
Yes, he's decided that I picked the halftime highlights.
Well, I know better.
These are matters of grave urban concern.
All right. The Oilers, once again, have a 1st and 10. They're down to one timeout. They have the ball at the 45-yard line for the Steelers. 40 seconds on the clock remaining in the first half. Change up at the line of scrimmage by Pastorini. Has the time and comes off his hand in a funny motion. I don't believe his arm was hit. Intended for Ken Burrow. Incomplete. Stops the clock. 34 seconds. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Pastorini, 8 of 12, 66 yards. The game ended tonight with only 5 sacks. He has had none tonight. And believe it or not, 4 of those came in the very first game. So he's been sacked 1 time in the past 6 games. That offensive line, Vaught, Towns, Fisher, Sampson, Heyman doing a great job for the Oilers. It goes to Rich Castor, and Castor holds on, moves inside the 25-yard line. Pastorini uses his last timeout. And that remains on the scoreboard. 26 seconds for the Oilers.
Well, they're not that far out now, obviously. Scrimmage line between the 24 and 25. So they've got field goal position.
I'll tell you about Wide World of Sports coming your way Saturday, 5 o'clock Eastern and Pacific, 4 o'clock Central Time. The World Gymnastics Championships, a beautiful competition. Of course, it'll be featuring Olympic gold medalist Nadia Comaneci. It'll be coming via satellite, same-day coverage from Strasbourg, France. The most important gymnastics competition, of course, since the '76 Olympics. Also expected to compete, the reigning gymnast of the Soviet Union, Nikolai Andrianov, among other Americans competing, of course, and they're really coming along in gymnastics. Kurt Thomas, Bart Connor, and Kathy Johnson. So, Wide World of Sports, the World Gymnastics Championships, this Saturday, 5 Eastern, Pacific, 4 Central. Doug Wilson, our main man, is over there for the coverage. Jim McKay, Kathy Rigby Mason will be there. Ward Maddox. Saturday on Wide World of Sports. 26 seconds remaining in the first half. The Oilers down by 3, 10 to 7. 1st and 10. They have no more timeouts. The ball at the 25-yard line of the Steelers. Draw play, and it goes to Ronnie Coleman. And Ronnie Coleman, a funny call because there's no way you can stop the clock. The seconds are ticking away. 15 seconds.
Inexplicable call.
Now this will be a pass. Pastorini will try and complete, but he'd be willing to throw it away also, which he does. Killing the clock with 6 seconds.
Inexplicable call when he ran the ball into the middle.
Well, I hope he didn't walk over the bench and get that.
I don't think Bum would take the credit for that. He'd blame it on the past offensive coordinator who left in the midst of controversy a few weeks ago, Kenny Shep. Hang it on him.
Tony Fritz, you remember him from his Dallas days, later San Diego. Had a good strong leg. He's 9 of 11 on the year.
He's well within range, Frank.
Oh, easily. He's hit from way out this year already. 45, 49 yards. This will be in a 39-yard attempt. Perfect. We have a tie football game with 1 second remaining on the scoreboard clock. Well, it's an expansion team, so they are good. That's certainly hitting it on the mark. Tampa Bay, of course, John McKay, they've emerged as a strong football team. My Giants over the Washington Redskins.
I don't say it in a journalistic way, but you have to have loyalties after you've been somewhere for so long. They have really come along. Okay, Tony Fritz set to kick off with the score tied at 10. Larry Anderson is deep. The sprinter, rookie from Louisiana Tech, a 4th-round draft pick. But Fritz will not give it to him. With 1 second on the clock, he dribbles it along the ground, and the half ends with 2 10s on the scoreboard. The undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers attempting to remain that way. The 4-3 Oilers, they know they need this game. Stay tuned. We'll be back with the highlights.
Denver at Baltimore, still another upset. Played at Memorial Stadium, Baltimore, Maryland. And Baltimore held Denver without a touchdown. This kind of play reflective of the Baltimore defense. Morton back to pass. Sacked from the rear by 76. Joe Ehrman fumbles. The ball recovered by 72. An alert Fred Cook. In the second quarter of the contest, it was 3-0 Denver. Baltimore ball 3rd and 15 at the Denver 19. Troop back to pass. Watch closely. The ball tipped by Tommy Jackson, number 57, but grabbed by Glenn Dowdy for a Baltimore touchdown. Look at it again. Troop back in the pocket. Excellent protection. Going down the middle. Now watch. Tommy Jackson, 57. And Dowdy, after a fumble, clings to the ball, and that was the key play of the game. In the 4th quarter, there was a great climax. Baltimore leading 7-6. And old high shoes Jim Turner with 8 seconds left, trying a field goal from the 17. Now watch. The kick blocked by number 63, Mike Barnes. The ball is recovered by high shoes Turner, and he is down by number 30, Doug Neff. And so Baltimore clung to the victory, 7-6. Now Denver, along with Oakland, is at 5-3 in the AFC West. The final unbelievable turn of the day occurred at the Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles. That's Ray Malavasi, head coach of the then unbeaten Rams at 7-0. In the second quarter, it was 3-0 New Orleans, and the Rams started to come. Pat Hayden, 1st and 10 on the Rams 41. Hits Dwight Scales, number 87. He is quickly down. That set up a Frank Corral field goal that made it 3-3 at halftime. In the 4th quarter, it was still unexpectedly from the Rams' point of view at 3-3. And there, play action. The throw from Archie Manning to number 34, Tony Galbraith, the lad from Missouri, quickly down the sidelines, touchdown, and a startling upset of the formerly unbeaten Rams by New Orleans. The score 10-3. The temperature has plunged to the 30s here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Frank's freezing. I am frozen.
I borrowed your old coat.
Under any circumstances, Frank, there's been so much talk about violence in football these days and the injuries to the quarterbacks. We felt it important to talk to 2 key men on the subject, which I did before the game, Jack Lambert and Terry Bradshaw. Terry, do you think there should be any new rules put into play for the safety of the quarterback?
Well, I'm one of the few that has spoken out that I've seen enough rule changes in my 9 years in NFL for quarterbacks. It's something that I believe very firmly and strongly for, that quarterback's an athlete. He's part of a football team. It's an aggressive, sometimes vicious game, and you have to be prepared mentally and physically to accept that. I know that if older you get, the better in shape I think you should stay, and I know Coach Madden at Oakland has said there should be more done, but I just feel enough's been said, enough's been written about the violence, especially against quarterbacks, and they'll just let it lie and let's play football.
Do you think there should be any rules changes for the safety of the quarterback?
Well, it might be a good idea to put dresses on all of them. That might help a little bit. I got called last week for a late hit on Brian Sipe, and in my opinion, it wasn't a late hit.
That's Jack Lambert. You heard his satirical remark. Maybe we should put dresses on them. He's a tough cookie. There's Terry. You heard his views. Just 2 views. They're not necessarily concurred in by many others. Nonetheless, we thought it interesting because the subject is so topical these days on the professional football scene. We thought it interesting for you to hear their views. Jack Lambert, who looks, Frank, almost like a biblical figure with that beard.
Robert Charlton Heston reincarnated out there. He doesn't play like a biblical figure.
No, he doesn't.
He is a very emotional player. He's not very big for the spot he plays. He came up second-round draft pick a few years ago, and he's become one of the best. 220 pounds. We look at the halftime stats. They're fairly even, and that is reflected on the scoreboard. It's tied at 10. Seesaw game as Tony Fritsch is set to kick off for the Houston Oilers, reminding you once again that Thursday night will be in Dallas. The Minnesota Vikings battling back in their Central Division of the NFC, going against the Dallas Cowboys, tied with Washington, the NFC East. 8:30 Eastern time will be the start. Will be with us.
That's right, Frank, and Dan Darrow will be back with us for that.
I look at Larry Anderson. We'll watch it from the end zone. Larry Anderson, the speedster from Louisiana Tech, a fourth-round draft pick. He went 95 last week against the Cleveland Browns. He bobbles it again. And this time he pays the penalty for dropping it, and he gets out to about the 18-yard line where the Pittsburgh Steelers will have a 1st and 10. Art Stringer hustling down there with a special unit team. Offensively, we anticipate Terry Bradshaw at quarterback, Rocky Blyer and Franco Harris, and we'll see a lot of Sidney Thornton on special running downs. That's when Lynn Swan comes out. Other than that, Swan will be one flanker, 88, Stallworth the other, 82, Randy Grossman, 84, Webster at center, Davis Mullins are the guards, Cole and Penny are the tackles. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Franco Harris avoids one Oiler, moves out for a 5-yard pickup to the 23-yard line. Hit there by James Young, who's part of the 3-4. The front three, of course, Young, Cope, Bethea, Ted Washington, outside linebacker along with Robert Brazil. The inside linebackers, Greg Bingham, Steve Kiner. At the corners, Alexander, Stimrick. The safeties, Renfelt and Knopf. On 2nd and 5. Handoff, Franco Harris. And Harris close to a 1st down. Rocky Blyer, that is, carrying the ball.
Once again, you saw Greg Bingham in on the tackle.
1st down, Steelers. Randy Grossman, of course, the tight end for the Steelers, rushed into service when Benny Cunningham went down with a knee injury a couple of weeks ago. Randy Grossman, a key figure in the first half as he was being covered by a linebacker. A couple of key receptions. He wears number 84. Rocky Blyer once again. Blyer hit by Young after a gain of a yard and a half. It'll be 2nd down, a long 8. James Young, 260-pounder. Played in the Continental League out of Oklahoma City in 75. Right out with the Redskins in 76. Didn't make it there. Came to Houston last year. Second down, a long 8. Bradshaw will put it in the air. Over the middle is Grossman again. If they mark it where he had the ball, it'll be a 1st down.
Which they are doing, and it is a 1st down. Once again, you see number 53, Stringer, now in there at the lineback position and on the play. He's been much in evidence tonight on the special teams. Now he goes out, but he's doing a class job tonight. Quality work.
Stringer, of course, alternating with Steve Kiner. The 1st down is at the 39-yard line of the Steelers. Just underway here in the 2nd half. Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell, a 10-10 game, a well-played game. Screen to the flanker, Lynn Swan. And a good open field tackle, Kurt Knopf moving in there. Knopf, of course, playing for an injured Bill Courier. And makes a fine play. A very difficult tackle right at the line of scrimmage. There he is, a 3rd-year man out of Kansas.
They got him from Denver. He had been a high draft choice by Denver originally. Got his opportunity, as you said, when Courier was hurt at the very start of the game against the Browns.
Courier, we understand, is ready to play. Knopf doing a fine job, so Courier will probably get another week's rest. And out for 3 with an injured ankle. And here comes Franco, and no place to go. And he'll go down as a flag goes down. But Franco dropped all the way back to the 34-yard line. A loss of 5, but flags are down. Robert Brazil there, along with Greg Stenrick.
In the last 3 plays, you've seen Brazil twice. When Blyer carried, he was sandwiched by James Young, whom Frank told you about. There's the signal. Penalty called.
Holding against the Steelers.
And it'll be declined.
Decline a penalty. It'll be 3rd down.
And Brazil. They were the 2 who sandwiched Rocky, which is not a happy position to be in. Brazil is all over the field.
What he has is incredible speed. He runs a 40 in about 4.6 as Bum Phillips looks on. The penalty declined, of course, following the 5-yard loss by Harris. Good defensive play. Stenrick and Brazil. 3rd and 15. Bradshaw, in a peck of trouble, unloads it into a crowd downfield. 2 receivers once again together, T.O. Bell and John Stallworth.
Well, he was lucky there was no intercept give. Stringer threw up his arms in chagrin because he had a good shot at it. Once again, number 53 in evidence. Football produces surprising heroes from week to week.
And as Billy Johnson moves back to receive the punt, Craig Colquitt, a 3rd-round draft pick from Tennessee. This little man on punt returns led the NFL last year, as he's done a couple of times. He's coming up from Little Widener College. Colquitt tries to kick it away from Billy White Shoes Johnson. He succeeds, and Houston will have the football at their own 30-yard line. Howard and ABC, number 1 in Pittsburgh, but we are also watching the number 1 defense in the AFC, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who is second, the Houston Oilers. They're tied at 10. The Steelers undefeated. The Oilers 4-3 on their season. The hopes of a divisional championship drops out the window, but there are the 2 wild card spots. The handoff. Earl Campbell, and Earl Campbell has a first down out of the 40-yard line to the 42. Jack Ham trips him up.
He's back. He appeared slowed after the injury that occurred to him in the first half after scoring the first touchdown. Take a look at this again. But he's back. You can see it on this very play. He had the hole. He got good blocking from number 26, who is, of course, Rob Carpenter. And then you saw him bursting through a tackle and gaining first down yards.
He has 47 yards on the night. He ran out of his radials, pops back into them, and goes out for a breather as Ronnie Coleman comes in, number 47. Handoff, Rob Carpenter, and Carpenter met at the line of scrimmage and maybe eases out a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
I'll tell you, he got an early hit from Dwight White. L.C. Greenwood also getting up slowly, but White was the first one to suck him.
Oh, what a remarkable record these Steelers have had since this stadium opened in 1970. They've only lost 2 games to Central Division opponents. We mentioned before, Cleveland and Cincinnati have never won here. The 2 games they lost were to this team, the Houston Oilers. 2nd and 9. Ronnie Coleman. Coleman pounded again at the line of scrimmage. Joe Green and Jack Lambert. What a combination they are.
That's what you call closing it down.
Well,
2 times in a row.
You know, I mentioned his size, Howard. Lambert in the middle at 220. But he's so agile, so strong as we look at him. And the guys that make it possible are Joe Green and Banaszak and Furness when he's in there. They keep cutting off the blockers, and Lambert roams along behind that line of scrimmage like a hungry hawk. 3rd down and 8. And this is what the Steeler fans like. That front 4 will just let it rip, disregarding the run totally. Good protection. Man open. Complete. And it goes to the tight end, Mike Barber. He has a first down, and he's still on his feet and battling. Down at the 37. Johnson finally drops him.
That's a replay of the way he kept fighting for yardage when he gave up the football in the first half. Remember when Bump Phillips was complaining? That time should have been called. Same thing. This time he didn't fumble. When you're fighting for yardage, you can't expect them to call the clock dead.
Good tight end. We saw him as he came up as a rookie. 2nd-round draft pick out of Louisiana Tech, and he has been something. He missed all of that rookie season with a knee injury, but he came back strong last year, and he has a lot of potential to become one of the top tight ends in the league. The 1st and 10, 37-yard line of the Steelers. The end around Rich Castor. Castor with the great speed has another Oiler first down as he runs into Wagner and pushes Wagner back for the first.
The Oilers are gushing at this point in time. Mike Wagner, little bit shaken up on that tackle. That's the second time tonight they've used Castor on the end around. We've talked about that too. He just gobbles up yardage. Look at it again.
Good play fake. You saw Campbell barrel in and put on the fake. And here's Wagner, a little man taking on a 230-pounder, and you know who's going to win that contest. Campbell, lone setback for the Oilers. First and 10. The ball at the 26-yard line of the Steelers. The game is tied, and Pastorini loses the ball. Sprawls forward and collects it once again, but he'll lose a yard and a half. It'll be second down and 11.
Fortunate to have collected it. Can't afford mistakes like that one. Go to a moment like this. You know, you mentioned the record of the Steelers in this ballpark, Frank. 9 years ago, Dan Darrow and I did the first game the Steelers ever played in this ballpark, a preseason game against the Giants. Tarkenton was with the Giants. We had him mic'd up. Never allowed to do that again.
Second along 11. All at the 27. Handoff, Ronnie Coleman. Coleman with a single setback. Moves inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. It's going to be third down and 7. Banaszak, 76, Lambert, 58, in on the stop for the Steelers.
Look at that graphic. Houston, at this point in time, more than holding its own on the ground against Pittsburgh. Remember, we told you that the teams that give Pittsburgh the most trouble are the teams that can muster a ground game against them.
Third and 7, single setback, the passing offensive unit in for the Oilers. The protection, Pastorini into the pocket, fires over the middle, and the little one, Mike Renfro, holds on. First and goal for the Houston Oilers.
He really rifled that ball. Now watch this in replay. You'll see Mike Renfro held up at the line. There's that one legal chuck in that 5-yard span, and now rifled in there. Perfect timing by Pastorini. Blunt and Wagner all over him, but the first down on the Steelers 7.
And I like the way he comes over the middle. He's 5'11", 184-pounder, the son of Ray Renfro, the former All-Pro from Cleveland. We hope he's watching tonight. We imagine he is. He has to be proud of this young man. Earl Campbell just pushes the Steeler iron curtain back inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line.
There's Bum Phillips. Did you get a quick gander at his boots before? Those multicolored things? Part of the Bum Phillips attire. He sent a pair of those to Frank, but Frank rejected them.
He has got himself pulled together satirically tonight. Second and goal. The ball is at the 4-yard line. This game is tied at 10. Two tough football teams playing here this evening. Castor's in motion. Campbell on the play action. The man is wide open, and he doesn't hold on. Mike Barber and Pastorini just a little eager. The entire Steeler defense went for the play fake. Barber was open. Pastorini didn't get it there.
He tried to make an overreacher of Barber here unwittingly. Now that was touch, though, Frank. Even though he overthrew it, he lofted that football.
Third and goal. 5:12 remaining in the third quarter. Seesaw battle. It's the Houston Oilers who took the Pittsburgh Steelers in the playoffs last year when they beat Cincinnati on the final day of the season. Touchdown. Earl Campbell, his second of the night. The Oilers take the lead. Well, I'll tell you, when this man at 227 pounds gets any kind of a crack in the left side of the line with Greg Sampson spearheading it and Mike Barber, the tight end, blocking, they gave him that crack. He found it, and he just accelerates. Maybe not with the incredible speed of an O.J. Simpson in his earlier years, but he can really turn it on.
He can. He's got speed and power.
Tony Fritz on now.
The strength of the big back, the speed of the breakaway back.
We're watching two of the finest tonight. Earl Campbell and Franco Harris. Pittsburgh, of course, trying to maintain their undefeated streak. And they now trail the Houston Oilers. The flag is down.
17-10 the Oilers.
So Houston has not been affected, as we look at it one more time, by Monday night nerves tonight. Playing the best game they've ever played on a Monday night. They lead the powerhouse Steelers by 7 in the third quarter. We'll be right back.
Earl Campbell has notched his second touchdown of the night. Campbell with 54 yards on 13 carries. Shaken up. If you were with us in the first quarter, but came back and has provided the Houston punch on the ground. Fritsch set to kick off. Deep is Larry Anderson, number 30, the rookie from Louisiana Tech with the blazing speed. And he decides, no, I'll stay here. Touchback. The Steelers will have the ball at the 20.
Wise decision. There's Earl Campbell, who thus far has carried 13 times for 54 yards. Franco Harris 10 times for 35 yards. In a pregame interview with Frank, he talked about his mom, about his family, about his dreams, and about his love for the game he plays and how he wants to be a complete ball player. Well, his mom has to be happy so far tonight.
She's a wonderful lady, and she has to be proud watching tonight. First and 10. The Steelers from their 20. Bradshaw overthrows Len Swan. Wisely so, because Willie Alexander is right there, and while we have a break momentarily in the action, we'll pause 5 seconds and allow our stations along the line to tell you who's bringing this football game to you.
You're watching WTAE-TV Channel 4 in Pittsburgh.
Terry Bradshaw back into the huddle. Second down and 10, his counterpart of the Houston Oilers. A couple of strong-arm quarterbacks and fine athletes, too.
This is just a fine football game between two extremely tough football teams.
Second down and 10, the Steelers with the ball. 4:56 remaining in the third quarter. This is Franco Harris. Again, trying the left side, and again a loss.
But they, again, the great veteran defensive end, having one of his better years in recent years.
But the Oilers are stringing that out along the line of scrimmage. Stemrick coming up from the cornerback, turns it to the inside. Bethea with that great speed, now in his 11th year, still with the strength and the speed, follows in pursuit. Twice now, they've, in this quarter, have dumped Harris for losses. Fifth man defensively now in the secondary for the Oilers. That's J.C. Wilson, a rookie from Pittsburgh who played his college football right here. On 3rd and 13, Bradshaw to Swan is picked off by Willie Alexander and bobbled.
Flag is down, and I think he called it an incomplete.
Willie Alexander all over Lynn Swan. It's going to be offensive interference against Lynn. No interception.
For the first time tonight in that series of downs.
Interference number 88. Decline a penalty. 4th down.
Well, if you're going to have interference, you may as well do it here.
Sure,
because
save the interception.
Save the interception. He got a hand in there. Alexander had it for a moment. Swan pulled his arm away. 4th down. Colquitt, the rookie from Tennessee, will kick. Billy Johnson will have an opportunity. He awaits the ball at his 40-yard line. It's low, the kind you run back. And Billy Johnson steps out of bounds at midfield. 48-yard punt, but a flag is down again.
Well, we'll have to wait for the call on this one.
And eligible men downfield once again.
All right.
And Houston Oiler is also down right at midfield.
Can't tell who it is at this point.
And we will not speculate as Pastorini tries to decide, do we want to try this over again, or are we content with field position at midfield?
Stay there,
baby.
You saw it. Just stay right there. I was about to say, Frank, on that here's the call.
Somebody broke too quickly, and eligible men downfield. Penalty decline. The Oilers will have the football at midfield. They lead 17-10. The injured Oiler, Conrad Rucker, on his feet. Lynn Swan, the #1 outside receiver in the NFL, thus far came in tonight with 35 receptions, 6 touchdowns. They kept 5, and he got 1 this evening. But the Oilers are beginning to take command of this game. They have the ball at midfield.
They have a 1st and 10. The quick toss goes out to Rob Carpenter. And Carpenter sprints to the outside, gets a 1st down out around the 38-yard line. Mark Wagner took him out of bounds.
Frank just mentioned the Oilers are beginning to take command of this game, and the play you just saw is another evidence of that. The touchdown they scored, of course, the biggest evidence as you look there at young Mr. Carpenter. But I think maybe the most impressive thing of all from a Houston point of view was the Steelers play and the play calls on the last series of downs. Pass, run, pass, not good execution, and a beginning perhaps more than concern, even panic.
And good defensive play on the part of the Oilers as Earl Campbell gets a call and sees a hole in the inside, breaks back, picks up 6 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 4. And the thing about Houston, they play the Steelers well year in and year out because they're like the Steelers. They're a physical team, and if you're not physical, you're in trouble when you play the Steelers. They will bring it to you.
Well, they've been stringing out that run all night, as you mentioned. The 34 defense, or the 30 defense, call it what you will, is supposed to be vulnerable to the run, and not the way the Oilers are playing it tonight.
2nd and 4. The ball at the 33-yard line of the Steelers. Rob Carpenter gets to the 30-yard line, short of the 1st down. It'll be 3rd and 1.
When you hold Franco Harris to less than 40 yards and you're close to the end of the 3rd quarter, your defense is not just stubborn.
And the possession time is beginning to swing in favor of the Houston Oilers. Keep the ball away from the offense. They won't score. Short yardage offense now with 3 tight ends. Castor, Rucker, Barber. Campbell, 34. Carpenter, 26. The setbacks. 3rd, call it 2 yards as they have marked it now at the 31. Rob Carpenter, quick toss. Sensational play. Guess who? Jack Lambert. And Jack Lambert. Well, I thought he was hurt. He was
stunned for a moment, but he's not going to let anybody know it, Frank. He's that kind of player. Look at him.
The loss is all the way back to the 33-yard line. A loss of 3. It's 4th down and 5. And out comes Tony Fritsch, I believe. Yes, he's in there. And he, again, has that strong leg. It's going to be a field goal of attempt of about 50 yards.
But that play by Lambert was so big.
These are the kind that you can get blocked because you have to kick them and they run out of time, so that should settle this issue. You have to kick that ball low, and you're way out there. You run a great risk of having it blocked. When it is too much time, it's marked back to the 38-yard line, and now out comes the punting unit. Bill Parsley from Tennessee, number 18.
They wanted to draw him offside with a very long count. We've seen that time and again in this league. But now the punt. And that play by Jack Lambert may be the spark to ignite this Steeler team. Maybe.
Rudishan is deep along with T.O. Bell. Angling away from the Pittsburgh Steelers receivers. Gets a good Houston bounce. Out of bounds inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. Fine kick by this rookie from Tennessee. 2nd of the nation a year ago for the Volunteers. Time is out. That's the score. Rand Tarkington against Roger Staubach. Special time, 8:30 Eastern time. Be with us. Thursday night. The Steelers in the hole again following a Cliff Parsley punt. They'll begin from the 9-yard line. Rocky Blyer. Rolling ahead behind Jerry Mullins and Ray Penny. Had his own 1,000-yard year back in '76. Bradshaw on the 2nd and 4. Finds a man wide open. It is the tight end again, Randy Grossman. They are going to have to put somebody on this man. They've been doing it with linebackers, and the Steelers coaches in the press box picking it up. And Grossman gets the 1st down after the 31-yard line.
2 excellent play calls. Houston keying on and ganging up on Franco Harris, who's been held to less than 40 yards thus far tonight. So the first play to Blyer for the run, 6 good yards, then the pitch to the tight end.
17-10, the Oilers over the Steelers. Final seconds of the third quarter. Bradshaw to Grossman.
Beautiful.
And again, they let Grossman run free. He has a first down. He's down to the 47-yard line of the Houston Oilers. Knopf made the stop, but Grossman wide open.
And the Steelers now with excellent momentum, to use that too oft-used word. Beautiful touchdown, lofted to Grossman. Hit immediately, but Randy was where he should have been. Terry threw it where he should have thrown it. And the key play,
the flag was down. Back where Bradshaw released the ball. And the penalty tacked on following the reception. Here's the call. Referee Ben
Personal
Wright.
foul. Roughing the passer. 52. First down.
Robert Brazil, who came in on the blitz.
the play that turned this around was Jack Lambert's saver.
First down, Steelers. They have the ball inside the 32-yard line of the Houston Oilers. 8 seconds remaining in the third quarter. This play will be run. Bradshaw wanted Lynch. Swan deep. He was covered. He jumps it off to Harris. And Harris does a little nifty footwork and gets down to the 23-yard line. Short of the first down, but a gain of 7. It'll be second down and 3 when we return. That's the end of the third quarter. Houston 17, Pittsburgh 10. We'll return for the fourth quarter. A lot of action. Stay with us.
That's the man who's given Pittsburgh renewed vigor, Jack Lambert. Houston apparently driving a 3rd and 2 situation. Lambert getting in and hitting Rob Carpenter for a 4- to 5-yard loss. After that, they tried, Houston did, to draw Pittsburgh offside. Failed, cost them 5-yard penalty. They punted, and Pittsburgh has been a different team since getting possession. They're driving inside the 25 of Houston. Gift.
2 key completions to Randy Grossman. The Steelers at the 23-yard line, second down and 2. They trail by 7. Going again, intended for Lynn Swan, and again defending Mike Reinfeldt.
Well, you saw Lynn look for help from the official, but quite rightly, there was no call of interference. There's Lynn, Frank.
Did a fine job, Reinfeldt did. He spotted Swan coming over, stepped in front of him, eyes on the ball, playing the ball. You can do that. No interference there, just a good defensive play.
Beautiful.
Third down, 2. Ball at the 23.
Got his body and his arms in there. Lynn didn't have a chance.
Seesaw battle. We hope you're enjoying it. The Steelers and the Oilers. Bradshaw does not like what he sees. Calls timeout.
Timeout, Pittsburgh.
Moves over to confer with this man. Chuck Noll has had the Steelers in the playoffs for 6 straight years, and we'll be back in just a moment. Jim McKay, of course, bringing you the action along with Gordon Maddox and Kathy Rigby Mason. The name is familiar. Well, she was a great gymnast in her own right, married to a great football player, Tommy Mason of the Los Angeles Rams. Boy, what a heart he had. The Steelers, a lot of heart also. Third down and 2. The ball at the 23-yard line. They trail the Oilers by 7. Getting the call, Rocky Blyer. I do not believe he got the first down. He'll be short. It's going to be fourth down, a tough decision for the Steelers.
He did not get it. You can't second-guess Bradshaw. The call on second down with 2 yards to go for the first, to go for the works as he did, was excellent. It was the defensive back, 37, Reinfeldt's anticipation, that defeated him on that play, though had he thrown it a touch earlier, he might have completed it to Swanee.
4th and less than a yard. Steve Carson brought the play in. Short yardage offense. That means Sidney Thornton is in there with Franco Harris and Rocky Blyer. Lynn Swan is out. And the Steelers, well, apparently had to call another timeout. There was a mix-up in their offensive set.
Boy, they've used up 2 of them,
Bradshaw
Frank.
moves over to talk with Noel. They trail by 7. They have 1 timeout remaining. 14-28 in the fourth quarter. Only part of the story of a rugged Houston defense that have really turn the Steelers back. The Steelers, a critical decision. They had to use a timeout. Bradshaw did not like what he saw. They have one timeout remaining. They have fourth down, less than a yard to go, inside the 22-yard line of the Houston Oilers. On fourth down, throws the ball behind Franco Harris. The Oilers will take over. Curtain off. Running stride for stride with Harris. Bradshaw tried to thread it in, threw it behind. The Oilers have the football, and this kind of play at this point in a ball game can make a major difference. Let's look again. There they are running stride for stride. Off and Harris.
Ball was
had to throw it behind him. Good defensive play.
Daring call, good defensive play. Had it worked, they'd have been talking about Bart Starr all over again.
Tell you, Chuck Knowles, respect for the Houston defense. Third, less than a yard, he goes to the air. Rob Carpenter. Carpenter hit there by Lauren Tays. Mike Wagner. Gain of 4, it'll be 2nd and 6. Yeah, I'm impressed with this team.
How could you not be? They've choked off Franco Harris. We just showed the graphics, the rushing figures for the Steelers. Less than 75 yards for the whole ball game.
They mark it short of the 28. 2nd down and 5. Earl Campbell slips and down he goes as he does not get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 6. Jack Lambert was there, but he just tripped. You know, we mentioned it before, but the Pittsburgh Steelers have only lost 2 games here at Three Rivers Stadium since this stadium opened in 1970. Both games were to the Houston Oilers, and they are endangered again. 3rd down, long 6. Campbell will be the single setback. Rich Castor is in, number 88. Burrow, 00. Mike Renfro, 82. Those the wide receivers on the passing down. Barber's open. And Barber collects the ball. And a key passing play. 3rd down and 6. And Pastorini was right on target. 1st down Oilers. 49-yard line of the Steelers.
I think Pastorini is having by far his best game of the season. Don't you, Frank?
Well, he's got something going for him he hasn't had in a long time, Howard, and that is a threat of the run with Campbell. He's 12 of 18 on the night, 148 yards. Barber knew he was going to get hit, held onto the football. The Oilers get out of trouble.
It was Wagner that hit him, Shell, who jumped over.
Earl Campbell lowers the head and bowls forward to the close to the 45-yard line. A gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. 12 minutes remaining in the football game. Cold here in Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah. Heater on the sidelines is still another evidence.
You know, it was in the upper 50s today. A front came through. It rained. The wind blew. Blustery day, and the temperature started to drop. It's expected to go into the low 30s tonight before the game is over, as a matter of fact.
Roy Torella keeping his foot warm for whatever may come.
2nd and 7. The switch off by Pastorini. Campbell, and he finds an opening and turns it on. Look out. Gets away from Wagner, and finally Shell makes the save at the 22-yard line. And have you ever seen a man?
Oh, he's beautiful.
Maybe with the exception of Jimmy Brown, I don't think I've seen one at 230 pounds that can do what he does. Agility and speed. Mike Wagner's still down for the Steelers, but look at this. That is a big man with that kind of a move.
I'll tell you, Mike Wagner was down, and Lauren Taves was slow getting up and is limping back to his position. There's Mike Wagner.
He was shaken up early in the game. Stayed in the lineup. He's being attended to. And there is your
Now, you got to remember,
rushing leaders in the AFC.
Right.
Campbell making a move, and Dell Williams, of course, of Miami, having just a superb year.
well, he really fits Schuler's pattern. That's why Don wanted him so and got him in the trade. We'll see them against one another later in the season.
He fit the 49ers pattern rather well also.
He sure did. He's a great runner. I agree with that. But the thing to remember about Earl Campbell is he sat out a game against the Cleveland Browns. He's just having a brilliant rookie year.
Mike Wagner is having his troubles tonight. He's been in some violent collisions. Up on his feet. We're always glad to see that. Goes by and he looks over the Oilers huddle and says, nice going, guys. I'll get my breath. I'll be back. Meanwhile, the Oilers have a 1st and 10. They're at the 22-yard line of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they have a 17-10 lead. Mike Wagner comes out, the rookie from Louisiana Tech. Larry Anderson, a 4th-round draft pick for the Steelers, in replacing Wagner. Play action fake. Screen to Burrows, the flanker. Burrows moves behind a block and moves down close to the 10-yard line. He has another Oiler 1st down.
Anybody watching this Houston team tonight in prime time has to wonder how they've lost 3 games as you look at the play again. Burrows sometimes breaks this for great distances and touchdowns. In this case, he got enough yardage under the game conditions and circumstances. But Houston lost one they had in hand, they thought, against Oakland. They feel they should have beaten the Rams in a tough, tense contest. Atlanta had a clear-cut victory over them in the opening game of the season.
2nd and goal. Rob Carpenter shakes off one Steeler, runs into Jack Ham, but still Bulls forward to the 5-yard line.
Tempers flaring. Blows being exchanged ineffectively. Up goes the flag.
And it is not the place to have penalties. Flag is down. They'll wait for the call. Carpenter got to the 5-yard line. And it's going to be step off against the Steelers. For either team, not the place to have a penalty. We could not hear the call, but it's a personal foul against one of the Steelers.
And the jut-jawed Chuck Noll, as you just saw, didn't like it a bit, but Von Phillips, understandably, growingly serene.
1st and goal. Ball is inside the 3-yard line. Campbell has scored 2 touchdowns from in close already tonight. Oh, and he is pounded and driven back.
Joe Green, what a hit.
And Jack Ham.
And 59, right. What a hit.
Dwight White was the guilty Steeler on the play before. Mike Wagner, as you see, back in the ballgame. And I think it might have been Wagner who made that violent collision. Let's take a look at it again. Campbell cutting back on the blocker, Rob Carpenter. And it was Wagner, who weighs 200 pounds, taking on the 227-pound Earl Campbell. 2nd and goal. Castor in motion. The ball is knocked loose from Rob Carpenter. Carpenter hit hard. The ball popped loose. Noll does not believe that he's going to get out of this.
I'll tell you, this is a great football game. It has everything. It has the feel and flow of yesterday's Miami-New England game. Wait a minute.
Flag is down.
Offside.
Flag is down in the end zone.
Called an offside against the Steelers.
Ron Johnson made an apparent recovery. The flag was thrown, apparently by the head linesman, off the field of play. Noll still doesn't believe what's happening. Here's the call.
Offside.
Defense, offside.
Well, there's no apparent change of expression from Chuck Noll as our director, Chet Forty, plays the drama of the coach's emotions, one against the other.
2nd and goal. Castor in motion. Campbell. The hands go up, touchdown. Campbell's 3rd of the night. Flag is down again. Another flag down. Steelers are again. Defense, offsides, decline, touchdown, Houston. Phillips. He wants this one. They knew that if they lost tonight, they'd be out of their divisional race. They would be 4 back, as is Cleveland, in the Central Division of the AFC. And while they may not catch the Steelers, they will be well alive for a wild card. Campbell, his 3rd touchdown of the night. Here's Tony Fritsch. Fritsch drills it through the uprights. The Oilers take a commanding 24-10 lead over the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And they may not lose tonight, Pittsburgh, because they're an exceptional football team. But we told you at the very beginning of our telecast, Houston habitually plays the Steelers tough. Habitually, Bradshaw has had his most difficult time against them. Look at the Oilers scoring drive. 9 plays, 78 yards. 19 carries for Earl Campbell, 87 yards. Debris on the field, holding the contest up. But we're about ready to resume. And here, once again, the Gipper for the call of the kickoff.
Fritsch will kick. Larry Anderson is inside his 5-yard line, the speedster. As a collegiate, a couple of touchdowns at Louisiana Tech of 100 yards. He went 75 last week against Cleveland. He accepts the ball at the 6. A nifty move, and he gets to the outside. And Pittsburgh, good field position. Anderson all the way to midfield. Bill Courier kicks him out of bounds there.
Exactly what the Steelers needed to rekindle their hopes, and exactly what an exceptional football team does when its back is against the wall. There's Larry Anderson. As Frank told you earlier, he broke a big one, 95 yards against the Browns last week. That was a 45-yard return.
Swan is right. Stallworth is left. The Steelers are down 14. Bradshaw knows he's going to have a quick one. Grossman over the middle. He's been open all night. Dropped for an 8-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd down and 2. Curtain off there. Now they mark it right at the 42. It'll be 2nd down and 1. Seconds ticking off for the Steelers in their hopes to remain the only unbeaten team in the NFL. 7 straight. They were zipping along through the schedule until they met the Oilers tonight. A fired-up bunch of Houston Oilers. And look at that play by Robert Brazil as he dumps Franco Harris behind the line of scrimmage, a loss of 1.
I'll tell you, the job they've done on Franco tonight has just been unbelievable. He still does not have a total of 40 yards gained. In 12 carries, he's gained net 31 yards. Now, when can you remember that happening to Franco Harris ever since he came into this league?
3rd down 3. The ball at the 43-yard line. Buffet jumps off. He did not get back. Bradshaw has a free pass. Goes out to Rocky Blyer. Blyer has the 1st down at the 35-yard line, tackled by Willie Anderson. Earl Campbell, a tough sledding 87 yards tonight.
Tough, right, but he came back from being hurt after bursting over for the first touchdown of the night. Hi, Earl. Hi, Mom, he said. And that's a kid who means it.
All right, 65, decline a penalty. That's 1st down.
Now, with 9 minutes left, Frank, the Steelers must score quickly. From their point of view, kick off, recapture the football, and score again. Against this Houston team, not easy.
Well, you wouldn't have to score that quickly, Hart. I said it earlier because Terry Bradshaw knows the kind of game he's in. He's got to get something big. Franco Harris, draw play, and Harris erupts for 9 yards. Ted Washington made the stop.
Ted Washington, his first, well, 2nd call tonight. He's one of those guys who sometimes emerges. A 14th-round draft choice originally. Houston got him from the Jets for Warren Cagle. And he's been a fixture at linebacker ever since.
Seconds ticking away. 8:30 on the clock. 2nd down on a long 1. He goes to Rocky Blyer. He has the 1st down. He's down to the 22-yard line. But the Steelers are using a lot of time. It was Washington again on the stop.
There he is Steelers again. We'll get him in there.
Not a tall man. In fact, he's short as linebackers go. 6'1", bulky, 245 pounds.
Tough.
The Steelers, first down. 23-yard line of the Oilers. They trail by 14. Swan goes far to the right. Stallworth is in the slot. Play action fake. Bradshaw wants Swan. He defines it in the end zone. Touchdown. Flag is down, but I believe it was roughing against Bradshaw. Maybe not. It's going to come back. Then Swan took it away from the Houston defense. Willie Alexander, Reinfeldt were defending. Brazil was also back there, but the penalty is going to be assessed against the Steelers.
The fans don't like it a bit.
Offensive holding number 55.
John Cole, the best of the offensive linemen, guilty of the holding infraction for the Steelers, and it cost the Steelers a touchdown.
I was about to say that the Steelers had come back with class, and they still may. This is a great football team. Not just good, but great.
You can score from anywhere when you have Lynn, Swan, and Stallworth on the field, as we just saw. First down and 20. Bradshaw loses the football. Ray Penny, as he has earlier in the game, was there for the recovery. But the loss is back to the 44-yard line.
At the college level, Penny, as you look at him now, was a center. And he can still double in brass as an offensive lineman or center.
It's going to be second down and 32 yards. Now, if you're quarterback, what you want to do is not panic in this. You want to get some of it back, knowing that you have another down to work with. Oilers naturally into their 5-man defensive prevent. Rookie J.C. Wilson in the secondary, laying well off. Bradshaw, a lot of running room. Oh, and Brazil upends Bradshaw. Flag goes down. Flags all over the lot. Mike Webster recovered the football. The flags are down all over the lot. An Oiler is down.
I think they probably called. Did it look like a late hit to you after he was down?
Well, Brazil is down. We'll look at it again.
I wonder about Washington, number 59.
It wasn't Brazil. He came in with a cutting tackle. Upended Bradshaw. He dropped the football. Webster recovered it. Let's watch now.
Now watch close.
Brazil will upend Bradshaw. Right there. Cutting block. And a spearing call, I'm sure, will go against Greg Stenrick.
27.
Greg Stenrick coming in. Helmet first. That's the call.
Washington came in late.
Foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense. First down.
And the unnecessary roughness call is going to give the Steelers a first down at the 14-yard line. Let's look again. Bradshaw's on the ground. And the call is aptly labeled unnecessary roughness. Greg Stenrick. Mike Kruzik comes in for the Steelers as Bradshaw was shaken up. We'll try and get a report. Bradshaw came up after the tackle, walked off the field, and in comes Mike Kruzik. This year hasn't made anything but token appearances, but he had a great preseason. You remember him from Boston College. Tops in the history of the NCAA in passing percentages. Came in 2 years ago, won 6 games in the Steelers' streak of 9 consecutive victories. He's quarterbacking now. Hands off to Franco Harris.
Now this team is alive. The way Pittsburgh fans have grown accustomed to them. There's Terry on the sideline. And he'll be coming back in, rather obviously. Just shaken up. Maybe right now, maybe after another play. But time becomes a factor. 6:25 left. Here's the crowd.
Bradshaw back in the ball game. 6:15, and it's moving. Franco Harris picked up 6 yards. It's second down and 4. The ball on the 9-yard line. Rocky Blyer. Men at the line of scrimmage, maybe surge forward for a yard.
I think. Well, he's within 2 yards of a first down, Jim.
Long two down in this end of the football real estate. And a tough Houston defense. Chuck Noll. Super job. Came in 1969. First year, would you believe it? He won 1 game. Then it was a gradual improvement. They've been in the playoffs 6 consecutive years, 2 Super Bowl championships, trying to remain undefeated. Third down, long 2. Bradshaw, a lot of time, no receiver. Finds one, guess who? Lynn Swann.
Of course, he's always there. The best combination for the production of touchdowns via the aerial route in the National Football League. On the record so. Bradshaw to Lynn Swann. And with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left, Pittsburgh seeks the conversion.
The key item is the Steelers have blown 2 timeouts that they've had to call. Roy Gerella comes on. They have 1 timeout remaining. Swann's 7th touchdown of the season. 2nd of the night. Gerella puts the Steelers go within 7 points. Let's watch again. The key thing here was just Bradshaw. Good coverage by the Oilers. A lot of time. No receiver open. Moves to the right. Spots Swann, who very wisely continued to move and gave Bradshaw a passing play. Now you watch Swann. He knows he's covered, but he knows he has to continue to move to make sure that he'll give Bradshaw a passing play. He does just that. Bradshaw firing back with his strong arm, makes the completion, touchdown. The Steelers are back in the game. 5:20 remaining in the game. 24-17, the Oilers over the Steelers. The Oilers looking for an onside kick, and they're going to get it. Has to go 10 yards. The Steelers have the ball. Beautifully executed by Gerella. It came across spinning. It was not handled by the Oilers. Jack Delaplane, who was just picked up a couple of weeks ago after he was cut from Washington. He came up originally with the Steelers. They brought him back to special teams, and he paid the price right here.
He's been all over the place, Delaplane. Played in the World Football League. Had a shot with the Steelers. Another look at it. What perfect execution. The ball bouncing over a Houston Oiler in the front line.
That is not all luck.
Ted Thompson.
That is not all luck. Gerella practices that. That ball was spinning, very difficult to hold. 1st and 10 Steelers, down by 7 from their own 46-yard line. Bradshaw to the air. Grossman, first down, Steelers. 41-yard line of the Oilers.
Well, I don't know if the Steelers are going to tie this game or not. But right now, they're showing everything that you'd want of a championship football team. They're playing football the way they did when they won 2 consecutive Super Bowls. They're playing against a tough, stubborn team that has peaked tonight against the Steelers team that may contain the Steelers now. But what a football game.
Grossman, 7 receptions on the night. He came in the entire season thus far, only had 5. Grossman again. 8th reception of the night. He's been the factor. Art Stringer made the stop, but it's another first down for the Steelers, and more important, they killed the clock.
Let's look at Grossman isolated. Playing in place of Benny Cunningham and Larry Brown, both of whom are sidelined. A projected weak spot, he's been anything but, as Frank has detailed. 8 receptions already.
And you would think they would pick up the fact they cannot cover him with the linebacker. They are doing it, trying to do it throughout the entire night. That time, Art Stringer tried to stay with him and couldn't. Sidney Thornton in there now, number 38, and Franco Harris, 32. 4:29 remaining in the game. Attempt to Grossman, gets the deflection.
When you're hot, you're hot. We have seen a number of tipped and deflected passes this year as you look at the emotions in that stern face of Bud Phillips. We have seen a number of deflected and tipped passes this year like we've never seen before.
Watch this one. Off the arms of Stringer, into the arms of Grossman. Look what I found, says Grossman. His 9th reception for 118 yards tonight.
Good Lord, and you saw Stringer, the arms upflung in disgust with himself. He's been all over the place tonight, Stringer.
Bradshaw calls for Platt. Sets his team. 1st and 10, the ball at the 15. Bradshaw throws it right into the arms of Kurt Knox. Oh, Terry. And that picture will tell you more than any words could ever say. There it is. The detection that only a quarterback can know.
3 minutes, 31 seconds left on the clock. The Steelers with only one timeout remaining as you look again. Bradshaw moving up into the pocket, feeling pressure. Looking for Swan, who was covered by Kurt Knox, who is himself a replacement for Bill Curry.
First interception of the game, and what an interception it was. Campbell, and he has been told to hold on to the football because the Steelers will be trying to claw it out of there.
But Terry Bradshaw's first interception in 68 throws. So he's not been prone to the intercept this year. But when it came at the worst possible time for the Steelers.
Oh, and it was a beauty. Terry looking around, could not find the receiver, tried to dump it to Swan, threw it right in the hands to Knox, and the seconds tick away. Steelers, having wasted 2 timeouts, can do nothing about it. Oilers will run it down. Pastorini watching the end zone, 30-second clock tick away. He gets this play off, 2nd and 9 with 3 seconds remaining. Rob Carpenter. Banaszak in on that stop. Bradshaw on the sidelines.
With the clock more and more of a factor as you look at Bum Phillips and his face, and he's looking at the clock. And with the fact that the Steelers have only one timeout, more and more of a factor. Should the Steelers lose, there will be no unbeaten teams in the National Football League at the halfway point of the season. So in truth, the old propaganda line finally rings out. Any team can beat any other team on any given day.
And I guess that makes it not propaganda. 3rd down and 8. Campbell up in it at the 10, short of the 1st down, of course. And a 2-minute warning, both benches notified. The Steelers will get the football on the punting exchange. They'll have one timeout. They'll be in good field position. Little time to work with. End zone. Randy Rudishan is deep for the Steelers. 1 minute, 59 seconds on the scoreboard clock. The Steelers have one timeout. Harsley. Good kick. T.O. Bell moves back to take it at his own 42. And T.O. Bell still on his feet. Gets out of bounds.
Now that was a classy performance by that young man. Bosley got off by far his best kick of the night. Bosley, as a punter, one of Houston's weak links, averaging only 36 yards a punt. But not that time. Still, the effectiveness of the punt nullified by that return by Bell, who kept his senses, and when there was no place further to go, got out of bounds to stop the clock. Still a football game.
Bradshaw acutely aware he has one timeout. There will be a hurry-up offense. If you get the completion, you get back to the huddle. We've already called a play. Swan far to the right, Stallworth to the left. Franco Harris. Harris inside the 35, short of the 1st down at the 34. Here comes the Pittsburgh Steelers with the seconds ticking away. 1:30, the clock is moving. The play has already been called. We called 2 plays in the huddle in this 2-minute speed-up offense. It's a draw play to Harris. And what a surprising call. Bradshaw still is not going to call timeout.
A good call. Franco might have broken that even further with a little bit of luck. But Houston's been so stubborn all night, they're holding together.
This will be a pass play. Bradshaw will kill the clock with it. He'll go for the completion. If he doesn't get it, he'll kill the clock. Over the middle, intended for Stallworth, and he is drilled there by Mike Reinfeldt. It'll be 2nd and 10. The clock, of course, stopped with the incompletion. Boy, I'll tell you, you've got to be a great receiver to concentrate when you know you're going to be popped like this. See it again. Stallworth coming off a big year last year, 40 receptions, and has opened up the season with another good year. Came in with 21 receptions, over a 19-yard average, held his poise. Clock stopped. It has 58 seconds. On 2nd and 10, Bradshaw back again. Fires for Grossman, and Grossman this time picked up by Greg Stemrick, covered well. Bradshaw could not hit him.
Chuck Noll is yelling because he thought Grossman was interfered with, but no sign of a flag anyway. So it gets tighter and tighter. 54 seconds left. Don't think that Bum Phillips doesn't feel the tension either.
3rd and 10. Now the Steelers not only concerned with the clock, they have to be concerned with a first down. Field goal will not do it. They're down by a touchdown and a conversion.
Oh, they've got 2 downs left.
Bradshaw, a lot of running room.
He's got the first down.
He calls his final timeout.
Oh, what a finish. 44 seconds left on the clock.
You know, you get the feeling that Terry loves this. Through the interception, he knows he should never have thrown to Knopf earlier. He's got a reprieve, a second chance, if you will. Here he drops back, spots the opening. He's a good athlete. He has not been running much this year, but in this situation, he pulls it down. Does his little hook slide. Stays out of harm's way, and while lying prone on the ground, signaled for his final timeout.
They are, of course, playing for overtime. Still unbeaten. The only unbeaten team left in the league. We're at the midway point of the expanded 16-game schedule. In overtime in 1978, should this game go into it, Cleveland beat Cincinnati 13-10. Minnesota beat Denver 12-9 on a Monday night. Pittsburgh beat Cleveland 15-9. Denver beat Kansas City. Oakland beat Chicago. Dallas beat St. Louis. That's the overtime action thus far this year.
Bradshaw comes back into the huddle. He's been talking with Chuck Noll. They've been consulting with coaches in the press box. The big play for them has been their pass to Randy Grossman, who has been covered most of the game with the linebacker. You saw a moment ago, however, Houston has changed. They had Greg Stemrick with Grossman. And other than that, the Steelers have not found anything weak at all about this Houston defense. So let's see what they come with. They cannot stop the clock anymore. No timeouts. And almost picked off by Knopf once again, intended for Swan.
I'll tell you, that Knopf is playing a tough game as Currier's replacement. He really is. He's watching Swan like a hawk. He's anticipating, and when you see him come in here, see that?
Oh, and would he have liked to have corralled that ball? And he should have. 2nd and 10. 39 seconds remaining in regulation play. 24-17. The Oilers over the Steelers. Bradshaw with 1 completion of the last 5 attempts. And Houston calls timeout.
What?
They want to talk it over. They're not stopping the clock, of course. Greg, well, Bingham, the man who calls the defense, moves over, chews the fat with the coaches on the sidelines. Ed Biles, the defensive coordinator there, he's the short man. Bum Phillips taking it all in. Meanwhile, Bradshaw, the offensive captain, at least at this moment, moves over to confer with Chuck Noll.
I'd like your explanation of that call with the clock running down at 39 seconds.
Well, it wasn't running down, of course, and Bingham just wanted to go over and make sure we're in the right thing. Their timeouts mean nothing.
The incomplete pass had stopped the clock, so it wasn't running down, but
into the lineup. T.O. Bell comes in. He's in there with Lynn Swan, John Stallworth. Franco Harris comes out. Or Franco Harris remains the one setback. Blyer comes out. Swan to the right. Stallworth to the left. T.O. Bell in the slot. Going for T.O. Bell. Good defensive play by Stemrick, who's been superb tonight.
Watch it. It'll come right at
you. T.O. Bell came down, drove to the inside, broke it off. Stemrick right with him all the way. The fourth-year man out of Colorado State.
Well,
he's an old WFLer from the Chicago Fire.
2 downs left.
3rd down. Handoff up the middle. Steelers cannot stop the clock, of course. They've called another play in the huddle.
Well, I'd like to be able to have that one explained.
This is it. They need a touchdown. They can get a first down if they can get inside the 4-yard line. No. Incomplete. The Oilers take over 10 seconds on the clock, and they, for all intent and purposes, have won this football game.
This has been a terrific football game. You've seen it for yourselves. Swan tried to pull a miracle there, but he couldn't.
Our thanks to our spotter, Steve Bazika. Our statistician, Jerry Klein, have been busy tonight. Well, you too, the executive producer, as always, of ABC Sports is Ron Arledge. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football is produced by Dennis Lewin, directed by Chet Forty. Our technical director, Bill Morris. Associate director, John DeLisa. Technical manager, Coach Coltrane. Unit manager, Dennis Zabo. And we hope you've enjoyed NFL football at its finest tonight. 2 stubborn football teams. This will be the final play of the game. The Steelers cannot stop the clock. Dan Pastorini drops to his knees. A flag is down. Or it was just dropped, apparently, by an official. No, now they have stopped the clock. Campbell on the night. Not bad, Howard.
21 carries, 89 yards. The most gained by any back as the game ends. Most gained by any back against the Steelers thus far this season. A brilliant performance by the brilliant rookie. And there is no undefeated team in the National Football League as the season's halfway mark comes to an end.
And the Houston Oilers will be heard from along the way. Once again, the final score, Houston 24, the Pittsburgh Steelers 17. Be sure to join us this Thursday night. Now, that's Thursday night at 8:30. That's a different time, Eastern time, for a special